When I was just 9 years old, I moved from Albania to my homeland, Turkey. Yet, it didn't feel like I just crossed countries. It felt as if I entered a new reality. Growing up in Albania, I had taught myself exactly how to feel at home as a foreigner. Everything made sense. The jokes, the rhythm, the expectations. I knew the unwritten rules of playgrounds, conversations, and even eye contact. And suddenly, when I moved, everything changed. I felt misplaced. I was the kid who no longer picked up on humor.
The kid who didn't know how to interact. The kid who couldn't decide on whether to speak up or to stay silent. I was the kid who could understand all the street signs and TV shows, but couldn't understand how to seem the same as everyone else. Just as I thought I'd adapted, I moved back to Albania. But the kid who returned wasn't the same kid who had left. I was now too Turkish for Albania and too Albanian for Turkey. Life is just unpredictable. I mean, we've all been in a situation where we felt out of place. We've all experienced a moment where it felt like our life suddenly shifted, whether it be a new school, a new job, a new country, or just a new expectation. And we're forced to figure things out as we go. So this actually means we've all adapted in some way. But what actually is adaptation? How can we define it? In biology class, you may have been told something along the lines of, adaptability is a heritable trait that increases an organism's ability to survive and reproduce in its environment. And according to the Collins Dictionary, the definition of adaptation is to change something or change your behavior to make it more suitable for a new situation or purpose. But does changing yourself encapsulate the true meaning of adaptability? I mean, we're all expected to know these definitions, since we're all expected to adapt when presented with change. But we're never guided. We're never taught on how to adapt to changes effectively. And for a very long time, I thought that this meant that there was something wrong with me, that I had no real identity, no single place to belong. It took me years to realize that being in between, having to adapt, wasn't a weakness. It was the greatest skill life could teach me. I believe that adaptation, real adaptation, isn't about bending yourself to fit into every single environment perfectly. It's about finding the parts within that unfamiliarity that help you grow, that help you become the best version of yourself. Adaptation is not about losing yourself. It's about finding the parts within that unfamiliarity that help you become the best version of yourself. It's about learning how to navigate your discomfort, how to read people without words, and how to rebuild yourself over and over again without breaking. My life between cultures was quietly giving me something even more valuable than belonging. It was giving me adaptability. But this isn't just my experience. Today, over hundreds of millions of people grow up speaking different languages in different environments. Even more live outside of their country of birth. We all even live between our digital and real identities every single day. And whether we realize it or not, as the world evolves, through globalization, we are all being pushed into the world of in-betweens. We are engaging with cultures from places we have never visited, communicating across time zones and learning from people we have never met. And what I realize is that when you're in between, you're actually exposed to your truest potential. Being in between forces us to learn crucial life skills, one of them being cognitive flexibility, which is the ability to shift your thinking as circumstances differ. And this is the skill that prepares us for reality, as it teaches us how to be better problem solvers, how to be better communicators, more innovative, and most importantly, more resilient under pressure. So being in between isn't confusion, it's just the training ground for the future. I mean, just look around us for a second. The world is changing faster than any generation before us ever did. We're witnessing artificial intelligence take over jobs. Climate change is destroying the environment, and technology is altering how we learn, interact, and even think. And in a world like this, the ones who thrive won't just be the ones who stick to one identity with complete certainty, or the ones who stay within their comfort zones. And that's the hard truth we have to face. That real growth, real adaptation doesn't happen inside your comfort zones. It happens every time you step out, when it's all unfamiliar to you. For me, moving between countries was what forced me out of my comfort zone. But you don't have to cross a border to experience that. You cross a border every time you speak up in a room that intimidates you, or you attempt something you're afraid you might fail at. So, if you ever find yourself caught between identities, cultures, expectations, or versions of yourself, just know that you don't have to pick one side. You don't have to belong to just one world, and you don't have to have a certain identity, because the most powerful place you can be is in between, where you let yourself and your environment embrace each other. Adaptability is the skill of the future, and the future doesn't belong to those who stay put. It belongs to those who can adapt again and again and again. Thank you.